Hello everyone, I'm Braun Mithra. We have GenCon update from the Kickstarter for Kingdom Death. A very long update. There's not a bunch of new stuff, it's just a fun read. But there's some important stuff I want to get to right away, so I'm just going to jump into it really quick. But important information is in here really quick. I'm going to skip to it and skim over some stuff. But most importantly, it is just a GenCon interview. So here we go. Here we have the return to GenCon. Again, we've got Lucy here. We are back and recovered from GenCon 2023 and our first trade social since 2019. It was such a wonderful show and so many people came out to visit us. I even cried at the end of a video with Quackalo. So much has happened leading up to the filming of Gambler's Chest. It's all kind of hit me all at once. We created a truly irresponsible thing with only the fans, backers in mind. Now that is being delivered around the world. Hope everyone gets a chance to just play it. So we got this cool artwork. Here's just some stuff saying that filming's still going on. U.S. stuff. Second round of containers for U.S. is being fulfilled and everything. These are just reminders. You should check your backer kit, which you really should check your backer kit. Maybe your address is wrong, or if you've changed another address. It could have... make sure that someone is around to pick it up for you. The other thing it mentions is they're not doing any kind of they're just sending them out. I don't know how they're sending them out. Doesn't say they're sending them out by backer number. Just seems to be kind of random. So then you've got a lot of people raise concerns that there are no movement parcels according to the tracking ID link. This is for EU. Nothing to worry about now. So they're dealing with it. Asia, Australia, people are getting it. I've seen people saying they've been getting it. So. If you haven't got anything, you can always reach out to support, but just give it time. They said everything should be done until the end of, or maybe the 15th of September, end of September, post GenCon sale. Here's it. This is the important thing I wanted to talk about. Didn't get a chance to make it to GenCon. It's okay. We have everything we had on sale at our booth here on our web store at the time of this update. At the time of this update, I was preparing to stream, right? I made a post on my YouTube channel about this. But you can pre-order Gambler's Chest now. That is still available to be pre-ordered on the website. They also have the sim. So if you want to get in on the KDM sim, there's keys up there right now. You should definitely go right now, today, or whenever you see this video. Within 24 hours of me getting this, I'm going to get this up as fast as I can. Again, I just ended streaming and everything, so I got to edit it. But I'm going to try to get this out as fast as I can. I made a post about this, but if you really want Gambler's Chest, it is on the official store. So I would buy it there. Sale includes, so again, this didn't mention the sim. I don't think it did. Maybe it does, but so there's also the Sci-Fi Lucy that was there. We talked already about all the stuff that was at GenCon. Here's new things. These are the Kingdom Death sleeves that are actually on the shop that are made for everything. It says gear card sleeves, encounter cards, event cards, location sleeves, knowledge sleeves, standard sleeves, right? And then they show them here. Picture estimated delivery is still going to be October. The Butcher Bus, which they only brought 10 of to GenCon, ended up being quite a hit. Well, obviously, it's because you only brought 10 of them to GenCon and people thought they might be an exclusive or they might not be remade soon. That's why we're seeking them down on third-party websites and stuff. Do not buy this on eBay. Exactly what's listed right there. This Butcher Bus was Butcher Bust was so cool. I think they might still be some in the shop right about now. I don't know, but this thing was super cool. We talked about all this stuff at GenCon already because I made videos about it. Returning to GenCon left me with a swirling mixture of anxiety and excitement. On our end, it was very much nonstop work leading up to and throughout the Gambler's Chest expansion fulfillment, which is a little bit of bad global logistics luck. Could have found ourselves in the worst case scenario, being at GenCon with nothing fulfilled and only a copy of the Gambler's Chest on display. Thankfully, a few thousand people already had their Gambler's Chest at home by the time we got to GenCon to start building our booth and investigate our long dormant storage facilities, I mean. GenCon is a huge commitment. The booth, travel, accommodations, food, housing, preparing models for display, training the team on our demos, etc. I am super impressed with our fellow peers that seem to manage several trade shows a year. I seriously don't know how you do it. Leading up to the first day when the trade show opened, I had to ask myself, would anyone come to visit us? This was their booth. I didn't really take a lot of pictures about their booth. But that's their picture of their booth. Again, this is much more of their booth. I played, so from this image, I played the first hero on the table on the left on this image. So that was very cool. It's been 3 years since we were in indie, with our Kickstarter ending 7 years ago. And yes, while we did get to the core game update, the expansions, and several huge collections of pinups out, they got everything out. Popular narrative seems very much that Gambit Chess was under wraps for 7 years now. It's finally here. Being the person ultimately responsible for all this, it's difficult to fully express the amount of pressure I had felt. Kingdom Death has been full pedal to the floor, work as hard as possible, take every challenge head on until we break through kind of project. As we worked to set up the booth, as I decorated our display cases with all the models we carefully assembled, printed for the show, I couldn't help but wonder if we were still relevant. In 2019, it felt like we were on top. We were at the top of our popularity. It was the first Gen Con where we actually had a profit, and I was hyper excited to rearrange the team to put Anna and I back into active game development instead of our accidental managerial roles we found ourselves in. So now in 2023, the 3 hardest years of work and life events behind us, where exactly is Kingdom Death in the minds of the fans? I had been so focused on work, I just didn't think about it before. Right before the show opened to the public, we had this amazing team moment as Jack was putting together a resin cast of the Ivory Dragon on display. It was the first time the rest of us had seen this sculpture in person. A project that took Jack over a year to meticulously sculpt by hand. While the Gambler's Chest is arguably the soul of our Kickstarter, the Ivory Dragon is the ultimate stretch goal, as we were put into a unique position by you fans to even dare to attempt to create something like it. So this was the Ivory Dragon. This looked absolutely nuts in the display case. I know I posted some pictures. I never put them in the video, but I had taken some pictures of them. I posted them too. This thing looked just absolutely crazy. So Thursday morning arrived and we were absolutely floored. A huge line of people quickly filled up the space in front of our booth and ran down almost to the convention's back wall. As people came through our store to check out, they shook my hand and said the nicest things to me. Again, of course, you'd be here. The only reason why I'd come back to Gen Con, I want you to know how special Kingdom Death is to me. Take all the time you need. My game was just arrived right before I left for the show. I wanted to thank you in person, and now I am going home to play it. I was flabbergasted. Being on the showroom floor, I just neatly tucked any thoughts or feelings I had and did my best to be present for people on my team. Only over the next few days, I only got to see some interesting other things. A pair of Survivors. Yep, this was some cosplay. I saw them there too. They were great. Got to make starting Survivors to match the hairstyles now. Slenderman. Yep, that happened. I don't know if they were a Kingdom Death Slenderman, but I did see that. Investment Sniper. This was interesting. This was as I was setting up for First Hero. Investment Sniper came by. I think I talked about that in my video too. This happened right there. I tried to find a picture of it to include in the video because that was very cool that happened. And I didn't know. I asked in Lantern's Rain and everything to try to get a picture, but this was happening right as I was setting up for First Hero. Yep, this was cool. The Investment Sniper cosplay was great. The diecast King's Coin. A fan that couldn't make it to the show had a gift sent to us, had sent to a friend. There were multiple things. There's a lot of stuff about this gift. It was very detailed and stuff. I've seen another video of it. I'm not going to share it because I don't know if they wanted me to share it or not. But yeah, they shared the video with me of this, and it's cool. They showed flipping it and stuff. It's definitely really is a diecast King's Coin. So such a sick thing. So yeah, this was cool. I didn't see it in person when I was there, but that's because I didn't know about it when I was there. I knew about it the second day, but I just forgot to ask to see it. Bloodglass Dice, I did not know about this. I don't know if this is from the same exact person, but I know there was also a lot of other stuff included with that King's Coin gift. That was super cool. Thrust in my hands as a gift and a thank you for making Kingdom Death were a set of the coolest dice I've ever seen, with the exception of our black on black dice. Inville said they made them by hand and balked when I asked if they could make us 3,000 sets for everyone. Ironically, I had been exploring a similar effect with our factory, and seeing these in person was pure magic. Yeah, these look really cool. These are some very cool dice. I didn't see these, but that is cool. Someone made all of them. Is that a full set? Yeah, it looks like a full set. Should be 6, or is it 5? I can't remember, but there's the 4 hit location dice. That is super cool. Take the gold. Kingdom Death models were featured in the work of many winners of painters and awards, including the best of the show at GenCon. Congratulations, Mumford, for bringing home the gold. Here's Mumford's amazing Instagram. I also shared this. Mumford and PhD ADD were playing with me when First Hero. So, as I mentioned in that video, both of these two were playing with me. They were the two I reached out to in Lantern's Reign, who were there, who I knew were at Gen Con, and who were available. So they were the ones, 2 of the 3 other players. So Mumford and Dr. PhD ADD. So it's so cool to see them. I know they were there. They also had, I showed in the other video, the Sen that he had painted like right away. He had gotten Sen the day before and had it painted for Poots the next day. He painted it at the hotel. That is insane. That is PhD ADD who did that. That was cool. So this is Mumford's Lucy. This is so cool. Very cool. Very cool. Barbarian Lucy looks absolutely sick. Such a great model. Barbarian Lucy. Hopefully we get a set of all 4 Barbarians. This is it by PhD ADD. This is the Lunar Twilight Night. Again, both of these 2 were in the First Hero video with me as well. I know I mentioned that. That's really cool. Death Crown Inheritor Aya. Don't know who made this. Very cool. This is very cool. So, looks very neat. Gold Smoke Knight. That is a very cool base for Gold Smoke Knight. Gold Smoke Knight has a cool base to begin with, so that is really cool. That's even, they swapped it out and painted a whole nother one. That's really cool. Who did that one? That's by Aegis Arising. I think I've seen other stuff from them too on Reddit and stuff. Pinup Dung Beetle Knight by New Meta Design. This is, again, really cool. And this was one of the things that because I mentioned I was talking to Poots and stuff that wasn't on camera and stuff. And this is one of the things that I remember I specifically mentioned to Poots, because I go to other cons too. I just don't record all the time. But Gen Con's the first one I've ever recorded. But I've been to other cons that have painting. Where you'll get the cool mini or not brushes. I forget. I was talking to Mumford and PhD ADD about this as well. But remember I mentioned to Poots that Kingdom Death really does transcend its own genre. Whenever there's painting contests and the cool mini or not silver brushes or platinum brushes, whatever it is, you'll always see Kingdom Death minis in there, and they always win. So it's super cool. I never heard of this, though. What is this? The Ennies winner? RPG Blackbirds won Best Product Value at the Gen Con Ennies. Creator Ryan Veninieri, I don't know how to say it, visited our booth on Thursday to thank us for KDM. It's been a huge inspiration. They had returned a few days later to show off his medal. He was kind enough to send me a book, so very cool. This is Matt Mercer. Matt Mercer does Critical Role. I had a chance to meet Matt Mercer of Critical Role, who is also a Kingdom Death fan. It's awesome to shake his hand and hear that he enjoys our game. Again, I know there's some cool fan art of stuff, because Critical Role, they have such great fans and such great fan art and stuff, and they did some Gorham stuff, because Mercer has used, because Mercer's a kit basher, and, well, not with the Gorm, he didn't kit bash Gorm, but I know he kit bashes some of his monsters that they use on Critical Role. I watch Critical Role from time to time, but I know Gorm was in it. I forget what season that was, but I know Gorm was used, and the fan art from that community was super cool, so I know Mercer's been a fan for a while. That's really cool. So, then mention all this, then you can see there's an article here. Where is this? Is it quoted here? Or cited, not quoted. Well, that's his Twitter. I don't know what the article is. Photo courtesy, Penguin and Random House. I don't know what article this is. It's not cited, but that's cool. This is neat. I think I saw this on Reddit, or maybe I also had heard about this when I was at Gen Con. But yes, the proposal for this is super cool. Good for them. A furiously blushing couple approached me and shared their enduring story about getting engaged while playing King of Death. A clever partner created a custom hunt event and snuck it into the deck during the gameplay session. So, very cool. Make our own version of this and a bridal theme model to go along with it in their honor. So that's really cool. Because I was 7, I remember Poots had mentioned this to me when we were just talking about like the questions and stuff, and just talking about stuff. He had mentioned this. This is so interesting. Our neighbors used Visit Me Today. Told me that they were a huge King of Death fan, and because of a photo of me wearing a JoJo shirt and love for Berserk, it inspired them to read both those manga series, which led to a huge 90s anime binge. Being only 14 years old, they saved up their money and convinced some friends to drive them out to GenCon to pre-order Gambler's Chest and thank me in person. I asked if you were a Arcadian fan, why didn't you just bother bagging it during the campaign? Because I was 7 at the time. Little moment blew my mind. Thankfully, I had just the thing to return the favor. I went into the showroom where we had a few extra copies of the Gambler's Chest and handed it them directly. I don't think it's often in your life you get to make someone's day like that, and I truly appreciate what an amazing, well-spoken, and thoughtful person they were. So if you are reading this, thank you for being a big fan. New fans, so sort of unexpected development. The core games were brought to the show, sold out fast. We didn't so wrapped up. We totally forgot that every now and then new people want to check out Kingdom Death. This has led to us planning a refresh of our many-year-old not good landing page at Kingdom Death. I think this might have happened. I don't know. The site was down for a second, so maybe it happened. I didn't go back and look because, like I said, I kind of just ran through this real quick before I was streaming, and I made a post on the YouTube page so everybody could see that you could go buy Gambler's Chest, because I don't know how many they'd have, if they had a limited number or whatever, but I know a lot of people, I've been getting a lot of comments about Gambler's Chest, so make sure you go buy Gambler's Chest. The double demo, we wanted to ensure that everyone that hasn't had a chance to play their Gambler's Chest yet, go face down the Crimson Croc and work hard on the demo. Yep, this is really cool. The demo was pretty hard. I know my fiance, she won. She played it when I was playing First Hero. So she was at that table playing the Croc. Speaking of First Hero, some guy made a video about First Hero. It's pretty good. You should see those painters are in there. The good ones, Mumford and PhD ADD, they're in there. It's a good video. Those painters are pretty good at the game. Some people interviewed him, someone, and then Quackalope also interviewed. So Jesse Quackalope has built an empire from his love of Kingdom Death. He creates board game coverage. So he's been reviewing Poots for a while. So scroll down. Again, these are all images from the show. These are all super cool. They don't look good here because I've got them shrunk. You should really click on them, though, because they're really cool. And here's Quackalope's interview with Jesse. Or interview with Poots. Quackalope's interview with Poots. It's good. It's got some stuff in there. I watched it. It's got some other information in there. So then GenCon's end. So the came end. Packed up our booth at Jimmy Dean's for final day and escorted Kingsman back into storage. Excited for Kingdom Death products was in Power 2019, and without a new vignette, I'd say we smashed it. Yep, that's Echoes 4. And it's very cool. And maybe don't rush out to. Oh, that's another thing. Don't rush out to score the Undying Lantern on eBay. We will include them for free in our post-GenCon sale packages that are shipped from the headquarters. So those were the promo. We talked about that in the white box thing about GenCon. Bonus stuff. So here's the hard plastic board. That's all. This text is just saying the hard plastic board. By there it is. I'm glad to see that this is bigger than what originally was. I think the last time we saw this update, these were like 6 by 4 or something. But this is so much bigger, so much nicer, and I hope it's really strong. So it said it is. Again, hard plastic showed on board samples. It looks like it's pretty strong. Hopefully with the numbers and stuff. So there's still the whole fact that this is going to have to be a puzzle thing. So then we have the painter scale for the what is this called? Painter scale Honeycomb Weaver. Very cool skull. Honeycomb Weaver is really cool. I think she's part of Pinups of Death 3. I forget which one, but she's in there. Paints Crimson Crocodile. So this is a very cool crocodile. Very cool. Looks great. The eyes on this are absolutely amazing. So you should go watch that video. Everyone should go watch it. It's very good. This is Ninjan. People of the Mirrorstone, Campaigns of Death. So here's People of the Mirrorstone artwork. So this is an interesting thing right here. This one, at least, this shows like, I think this looks like the hunt artwork, like the hunt phase artwork itself, or showdown phase artwork itself. But I think that's what they're supposed to be. But anyway, there's the full artwork. Looks really cool. People of the Mirrorstone is super interesting. It looks like you're gonna have like really, like, I don't know, butcher like survivors. Maybe they'll have unique survivors in there. All these, they look totally like ridiculous. They look like they're all barbarians. So hopefully that's it. That's the update. There was also some stuff on the newsletter. So very cool newsletter as well. I'm not going to cover those, but there was a lot of stuff shown in the newsletter. Mostly what they had was Twist. They mentioned Twist Gaming. There's a lot of people who are streaming Gambler's Chess, right? They mentioned someone who's streaming their whole first thing. I forget who they said that was. And then they also mentioned Twist being in there. I also appeared on Twist Gaming. They're doing a lot better than me. Forged by Geeks, I've watched their stuff. Forged by Geeks been doing King Death for a long time. They also mentioned Big Dino. So I watched his first one. I know he also struggled with Prologue Croc, or Croc Year 1. I forget exactly what. I think it was Prologue Croc. Streamers having bad luck with Gambler's Chest. I will tell you that right now. Streamers having some bad luck with Gambler's Chest. But you should go check them all out. All the ones I just mentioned there, they're all playing. Hopefully I mentioned everyone. I know A Warm and Awful Feeling just got her physical Gambler's Chest, so everyone should go check her out as well. So hopefully you know what? I'll just go look really quickly here. So this is it. This is where we were. So yeah. Tennis Dude. He's been on some of my videos, Admin Lander's Reign. Tennis has 2 videos on his Twitch, one for King, one for Godhand. Both very interesting. So there's Tennis, Quackalopes Unboxing. Just want to make sure I get these alls. Roll Wheels first. Oh, okay, so this is pretty sick. I saw this in the Discord too. This is very sick. Very vibrant red here. I haven't painted mine yet, but I'm very inspired by all the people. Forge Ahead with Forged by Geeks, I mentioned that. Big Dino, I mentioned that. Oh, well, they didn't mention Twist. But Twist Gaming's also playing. So I didn't leave anyone out. So, yep, that's it. Very cool update. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys during the live streams.